or you won't live to tell.
Hey everyone, we have a really exciting show for you this week. We're heading back into the number 7 mine. The last time we were at the number 7 mine, we were just leaving, and right on the side of the road we found a fair-sized hole, and we were standing in front of it, and the cold air, it was just like a refrigerator. Someone opened the door of a refrigerator. The cold air was just screaming up through there. So I thought, well, this must be some pretty substantial, something big under there, because, you know, all this cold air coming out of there. So I went in there, and you know, I was in there for about 20 minutes, and I just found a whole bunch of passageways and the railway under there, and I just didn't have time to see it all. So back this week, and explored this, and it was just fascinating. Now, this part of the mine hasn't been accessed for a very long time. It's completely sealed off except for this hole. And the way this hole was formed, it wasn't mined there. It looks to me that they mined underneath there, kind of created a big cavity under there. And then, you know, it just collapsed over time. You know, the soil was wet or whatever, and that's how I was able to get under there. So, so what's really interesting about this is when you get under there, it looks almost like the miners just left. You know, like a lot of the tools and a lot of really extensive cribbing and working under there. And this is actually one example here. This is actually a jack that the miners used, and when they're digging out an area, they stick this in there to kind of hold the ceiling up, and then presumably, I guess they put timbers and wedged it in there, but that's what it is. It looks like a telepost in your basement almost, and it's not rusty. It's still, well, rusty on the outside, but it still works fine and everything. And, you know, it's probably been sitting there for 100 years or so underground. Lots of, you know, all kinds of explosive boxes, bottles, just really interesting mine for artifacts in it, and you know, tough getting through there because tight squeeze getting down there, and you know, 3 feet of water through there. But so at the very end of the show, I have my airplane running, and we put some GoPro cameras on it. I was trying to get some aerial shots of the number 7 mine. It's really tough. It's so overgrown you can't see much, but I got some pretty good shots of the Lexington mine coming up towards the number 7. And just at the very end of the show, I'll just run some clips, a couple little clips there with the plane there, so you can kind of see what the valley looks like and all the mines there. So hope you'll enjoy the show, and we'll see you next week. This is a really cool deal here, because you think, how the hell could this go anywhere, you know? But look at the rocks and stuff in here. This is really cool. Of quartz in here. Pretty cool layer. So you just see a little hole and think, oh, this will never go anywhere. You know, and you're forcing yourself through this little thing here. But the wind's just howling up through here, right? So they got that much air. Something's going on. And you push yourself through here, and it turns out to be pretty nice. You know, I guess the cool thing is that not very many people ever come down here, because you think, oh fuck, this ain't gonna go anywhere. This just looks like a dead end, you know. The guy's been down through so many places that just don't go anywhere. But I like this. And this just happens to be one of them surprises. So anyhow, the reason that we're here today is last time I was here with Michael, and I was down here for about quite a while, maybe 20 minutes or half an hour, and it just kept going and going and going, and I didn't want to have him waiting for me because he'd get worried about it. So I figured I'd take off and come back another day, and today's the other day, so we got as much time as I need to explore all this. And I got one stoped out area to go up, and then the tunnel went on in a couple other directions, so we're going to continue on down through here, and we'll get to all these places that I haven't been to yet. We'll see what we got. So this was an ore chute here. It's obviously slid down. It wasn't there originally because the train wouldn't have got by, so as you can see, that one piece is broken, so it was further up that little slope. So we're going to travel up there, and we're going to see how far we can get up that slope and see what we might be able to see up there. Here's another shot of that loadout chute there. You can see this whole thing. It's kind of slid down, eh? It's tipping over. All this loose rock pushed against it. A little bit of mineralization here. And now we're going to continue on up this or up these railway tracks here. Yeah, and there's a bunch of other branches that we haven't been to yet. And this is kind of a really exciting mine to get into, because I know nobody's been in here for a long time, or I don't think there has been, because first of all, very difficult to get into because you got that long, skinny chute you have to navigate. And then there's quite a bit of water. A lot of people don't like walking through 3 or 4 feet of water. And then when we get down to the end, it's rotting floors that are would make a lot of people squeamish, especially if they don't want to swim if they fall through them. So you got quite a few barriers, you know, to kind of keep people from exploring too far into this mine that scared the hell out of most people, but don't bother me whatsoever. So here's some flowstone. That looks cool. I always like to see that, eh? And funny thing about that is it looks really slippery, but it isn't. You find on a steep slope somewhere, like it's got an awesome amount of traction. It's like a grit. It's really neat. It looks slippery, but it's not slippery whatsoever. The opposite of slippery, actually. You could spray that on a truck bed or something. It'd be a non-slip surface. And there's that box there. It's probably, you know, the person was in to spend a lot of time here. You go in there and dig them kind of things out. You never know what could be underneath there somewhere, you know. Obviously there's a little stash or something there maybe. This would have been something probably the miners never got to see, whatever mineralization is up there. But you know, I learned that you really can't tell, you know, unless you're some sort of an expert. Even they can't. A lot of these formations, the rock that's actually bearing the valuable gold and silver and lead and stuff like that looks exactly like the waste rock that really has no value whatsoever. So, you know, stuff that looks really interesting, you think, oh, that looks really rich because it's green or whatever. You know, even the miners back then, you know, their best friend was the assay office, because, you know, they really had to get this stuff assayed to find out, you know, what the pay was in a day. Because, so for an amateur like me, I for sure couldn't tell you, you know, I couldn't come in here and say, oh, you know, I've discovered something, because I wouldn't even know what the hell I'm looking for anyhow. Now, that's an interesting piece of rock. You know, it's pretty black. It's really heavy too, eh? So, like I say, I don't know what it is, but and they took what they wanted and left that. So, oh, well, there's some pretty extensive timbering in here. Oh, there's a rat's nest. We don't want to slip into there. Yeah, we probably wouldn't. Looks cool. But we might as well go around this way. And that way the chances of us falling into there should be damn close to zero. So you see there's some sort of a marks on that wall that look kind of fresh. I don't know what it'd be. You see that mine's lots, eh? I don't know if they're obviously probably some animal tracks. I don't know if that'd be a rat or a bobcat or something else. Wouldn't be anything bigger than that, than a bobcat, I wouldn't think. Oh, there's an old drill, eh? Belonged to an old piece of drill. Belonged to a jack leg. Oh, there's a kind of a little wall. So there's a big chute here. Yeah, we can do that. And then hop over this fence and continue on that way. But before we do that, I think we're gonna see how far we can get up this raise. So obviously there was a lot of ore that came down here. And it looks like it went to lower levels, which is kind of interesting. See how much more water I have to wade through. Hopefully this one all comes sliding down. You'll be going for a swim down there. It looks almost like almost spikes. There's old spikes in here. It almost looks like there was a wall built there sometime, or I don't know why else would be all those spikes there. Interesting. Fascinating. So I didn't make it down here without getting anything wet. That timber there's really rotten. I just touched it and it was wiggling, so luckily it held and I was able to get down there. There's an old explosive box there. And we'll make our way up along the tunnel here and see how much further it goes. I'm really kind of curious as to where this ore went, you know. It looks like it went down to another level, but I have no idea where. I almost think there's another adit somewhere, or a portal somewhere lower down, maybe that nobody knows about. But it's probably blocked off, or otherwise it wouldn't be full of water, right? Because the water would run out if there was a railway below then. So yeah, that it must be blocked off. I can't believe how big this tunnel is getting. It's getting bigger and bigger as we get further back, which is cool. Really nice. Oh, there's some quartz there. Yeah, it's massive in here. Looks like some of the tunnels at Phoenix where they had them big electric railways. Huge tunnels. Oh, that's falling down. Yeah. Looks fairly recent. Peeled off. Sometime in the last 100 years. Oh, look at those boxes, eh? So they almost look like they're fresh air vents or tunnels or something. Would have been how they brought fresh air into the mine a long time ago. I'm not really sure if we're still feeling fresh air. Well, we haven't found no place where it could escape, so I'm assuming there's still fresh air coming in here, but it's such a large tunnel now that you wouldn't really notice it so much. You notice that it becomes more constricted. Well, there's an old funnel. Oh, wow. Well, that looks like it goes up a long bloody ways. Huh. Well, this just keeps going on and on. More and more surprises. I like it. I'll just stick to the main tunnel for now. Oh, it looks like the rats are eating the shit out of that dynamite box. Oh, look at that. Real metallic looking, eh? I wonder what that is. Interesting. Well, I'll take that on. That's really neat. You fit that in my pocket. It's almost like galena, you know? Real heavy, metallic, and shiny. Wow, we're just seeing more and more of these raises. Wow. Cool. You know, might not even get to everything that we need to see here today. Might have to come back for a third time. Wow, that's really cool. Lots of rotten dynamite boxes, eh? I don't need any more anyways. I got piles of them at home. You can tell there hasn't been many people in here. You start seeing a lot of stuff like that because, you know, most people will grab a dynamite box if they see one, especially if they don't have a bunch. You know, they would have been, you know, there's just like garbage in mines just about, you know, because, you know, they haul cases of dynamite down here and they use it, and why would they take the empty boxes out? Now this is pretty crumbly material here. Sort of similar to different areas that we've seen that had walls to hold that stuff back. Pretty soft there. So we'll just kind of keep sneaking along here. The rock wall is obviously pretty solid, but the soft material above the rock wall is much softer. Wow, there's so many areas to go up into. I can't believe it. We passed about 4 big major stopes, but we're just going to continue going along. Oh, what's this here? Going along the main tunnel. Huh. A real dark stain here. Water's running out there somewhere for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe just a natural crack in the wall. Huh, that's interesting, eh? Real nice colors here. That doesn't show any signs of getting any smaller. Tunnel just continues and going back further and further. We're going to pop out in the United States. Not impossible. There's a mine just across the line called Lone Star. Just across, they used to haul ore from Lone Star to Canada. But I don't think they did it underground. Oh, there's a bunch more air compressor tubing. Still not seeing any footprints in here, eh? Yeah, look at all this flowstone in here. Gorgeous. Beautiful green. I think we might be getting to the end here. Hard to even be disappointed. I mean, we had such an excellent run here. Had to end somewhere. Huh. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of her. End of the main tunnel. Oh, look at that formation. Isn't that cool? I don't even know what that is. Huh. It almost looks like a piece of driftwood or something, eh? Wow, isn't that cool? Wow. Huh. I guess it's just some sort of a mineral. It's not like a mineral type of an icicle. I hate to break off anymore to show you, but it's kind of brittle, eh? Oh, is that ever neat? I've never seen anything like that. Feels kind of weird. Wow, look at them colors, eh? Fascinating. Amazing colors here. This is just a really colorful mine. There's all kinds of cool stuff in here. Yeah, so we're going to continue on back and we're going to explore all those raises and see if we can find anything interesting in those raises. Our stunning feature here, this mineralization on these walls here. So we're going to make our way. Oh, what do we see there? There's some graffiti there. FH 1946. Yeah. So we're going to continue up this raise. So this, on the one side, the ore would have come screaming down the one side. The other side was kind of a, you see there's kind of a manway. So obviously we're not going to try them ladders out. We're seeing some more artifacts here. Lots of dynamite boxes. It'd be cool if we've seen some more graffiti here. And there's another railway. Unbelievable. So that's another level. We found another level. Certainly wasn't expecting that. I thought we'd just come up here and find some stoped out areas. But that's what we climbed up. Actually, the ore pass was a little trickier than I figured it was going to be. But I was able to climb up it. And no problem. You know, they're usually at a steep enough angle that the ore runs down them without too much coaxing, obviously. So, yeah, so there's a can of some type there, and old explosive box, and another railway. Oh, wow. Just more and more surprises here. There's a can of some type, I guess. Oh, tobacco can, eh? Burrell or great, I don't know what the heck it is. Not too bad. This greenish looking rock that is called serpentinite. According to Michael, so here's our serpentinite. Something because it feels like a snake or a serpent or something. It's kind of slippery, almost like soapstone. Oh, we'll make our way back down. Oh, looks like a little bit of shiny stuff, gold-colored stuff, eh? Is that gold? Who knows? We'll make our way back down. Cool looking little bit of flowstone here. It's interesting because it doesn't seem to come from anywhere and it's not flowing anywhere, but as it gets down, it's whiter and whiter. Here's our little railway. That stick would have been for tamping dynamite. In the holes, you put it in the holes, drill the holes, and there it goes. Got showing the ladder. This is a manway, and on the other side, that's where the ore passed. Where the ore went down, did a pretty nice little job, and it's all kind of looks almost probably the way it did 100 years ago. So the only way we're going to make it up here is basically we're going to have to rip this ladder out as we move along, which is not too hard. And then we've got this little place we can just walk up on here. Well, kind of a bit of a shame to ruin the ladder, but you know, on the other hand, I guess it's not good for anything anyhow, so we're just going to do that and continue on up here. So we made it up all the way up this ladder. The last part wasn't as steep. I don't know it's going to be like going down. We'll see. You can't go too far because those cross braces, there's cross braces where those big timbers are, and they're quite solid. So you wouldn't slide any further than that. And I guess this would be the other possible way of going down, but I don't think you're going to opt for that. So it's getting a little skinnier up here, but one of the reasons we're continuing up here is because the air, there's a lot of air coming screaming down here. That's where the air is coming from. So I don't know if we'll be able to get out this way, but we will try. All right, so this will be as far as we're going to go. I can really feel the air screaming out of here, so I'm thinking we're close to the very top of the mine. But you can see those, everything's just so nasty there that it's just not going to be safe to continue any further. That stuff's falls like get trapped in here, so we're going to really take our time. And some of this stuff's pretty loose too. And slowly way back down. Here we found the bottle. I don't know if there's anything in it, eh? Be pretty cool to find some 100-year-old whiskey, huh? Yeah. No, it's a pretty neat bottle. Yep. Looks like the contents have been slurped up. Well, now that is a neat bottle, eh? So we'll have to take that home with us. Yeah. Looks like it was just set there, eh? Nothing wrong with that shovel. Well, I imagine it's in pretty rough shape now, but I mean, there was nothing wrong with it when it was put there, put it that way. So that kind of, you know, kind of interesting. That almost kind of leads you to believe that the operations just kind of stopped pretty suddenly here for whatever reason. You know, they didn't really pick up everything. So there's another shovel. Now you can feel the air here, so. Oh, there's a bunch more. There's another tunnel going this way, and a bunch of cribbing. Been underground a long time today. First, I got 2 lights, and they only last for about 45 minutes on the brightest setting. So then what they do is they kind of derate to go to the 3rd setting from 5. So one's already done that, so I know it's a little low on battery, but yeah, I still go for a long ways anyhow. But this one still goes on the brightest setting. The camera needs more setting to film properly than I do to see. I'm good with 3, but the camera wants 4 or 5. We'll just be careful as we make our way along here that we don't pinch this off, because I think we need to come out through this way to get out. If we want to see daylight again. Oh, there's a little bit of graffiti or whatever you want to call it. Number 2 it says. So obviously this is a railway, but had quite a bit of material falling down here. It's not at a real steep angle here, so I might even go in a ways further up there. Well, he took a lot of material out of here, eh? But the rock that slid down there is not at a real steep angle, so it doesn't seem real likely it's going to slide further. Oh, we must be just about, I think we're almost buttoned up to that last. There we went up. Hey, so it just keeps going up further and further. Wow, this is by far the most extensive raise, tunneling and raise that I've seen in here. Goes back a long ways. He took a lot of material out of here. Lots of chutes in here. Oh, another shovel. So that's been about 4 or 5 shovels that I've found. So obviously that means to me is there's probably a crew working in here, and maybe there was a cave-in where they run out of money or whatever, I don't know. And all of a sudden they didn't come back to work the next morning, but they were expecting to. So who knows what the reason was that everything just kind of got dropped here. You know, you see the odd time you see a shovel in an old one or something, but when you see 5 shovels in an area, you know, that seem to be in good condition. That indicates to me that they just put their shovel down and never came back for whatever reason. Well, we found another kind of a pretty modest raise that we wouldn't have any trouble climbing up here. So, like I said, this is kind of interesting because the way we got into this mine, it was basically a cave-in. So it seems like this whole, there's no other way that I know of to get in or out of this mine. This is interesting here. Like you can see, it's really skinny up here. It goes up there. I could possibly get up there, but I run the risk of setting a bunch of this stuff loose here and sliding down and blocking my exit because this stuff's pretty loose, hey? So it was kind of a sudden change here. A massive amount of this rock loose. I'll be screwed because we'll get out of here. I don't think being here by myself that I'm going to proceed any further. This must have been some kind of winch to haul ore carts up. Old-fashioned ore buckets. Cool. How cool is that? Yeah, that's a really old ore bucket. So here's just a few clips. So we're just coming onto the number 7 mine. You can't really see much. There's a big clear cut. We're coming from the east, and it's right below us. That's where the road is, where it comes through, where the number 7 camp is right there. Like I say, you really can't see much. So this is another little clip here, and this is coming into the Mini Mac mine just out of Greenwood there. So a pretty cool little shot there, and that's the highway in front of us heading towards Greenwood. And this is the one last clip there heading to Greenwood. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week.